Justin Fields, the long-awaited Season 3 debut. You can't blame Matt Nagy. You can't blame the offensive line. You can't blame the receivers. This time, it's for real. Justin Fields is going to be him. Or so said everybody in my hometown of Chicago. Turns out, it's still bad, and it doesn't really have much to do with the receivers or the line or the play calling. Turns out Justin Fields is just kind of the problem. We're going to go through every single play until the game gets out of hand in the fourth quarter. At a certain point, it's not really, you don't gain anything by watching garbage time. It only can distort what you understand about a player. No need for prelude, though. Right to the film.
First pass of the game, first drive, little screen to the running back, routine, nothing to talk about. Second pass of the game, another dump off to the running back. Nothing really to talk about. We can look at this route progression real quick. Fields is looking to his right. It's not really open. I mean, he could have thrown to 85, Cole Kmet, in that little void between the zones, but it would take anticipation and a lot of zip. And we know Justin Fields doesn't anticipate that well. So good job getting through his progressions to throw to the running back. Not a great throw, but it was enough to get caught. Routine pass. Good job progressing. Third down quarterback sneak. Gets it, neutral run. Here, Justin Fields has his first positive play of the day. It's a rollout from the start, right? He's not rolling out because there's any pressure. In fact, the pocket is the only safe place to be. He's rolling out because that's what the play calls for. And here, he creates a little bit, sees Darnell Mooney breaking open here at the top of your screen. He underthrows it, actually, but that's the reason that Darnell Mooney's able to make a catch. If he were to have led Darnell Mooney, he would have let him right out of bounds because he was a little bit late. So that's a good throw with plus pocket movement. Good job. Here, tons of time in the pocket. Justin Fields stares down his receivers. Let's see who gets open. DJ Moore is clearly who he wants to throw to, and DJ Moore is wide open. That should be a big gain out of a very, very clean pocket. Justin Fields hits the check down instead. It's routine. We grade it like it's routine, but we know in the back of our heads Justin Fields missed a big play there. Here, Justin Fields takes off with his feet, but before we grade the run, let's see about his processing. Top of his drop, here he is. The curl out at the bottom of the screen, Darnell Mooney, wide open. The tight end, Cole Kmet, in the middle of the field, has underneath leverage on, I think that's Quay Walker. Two people that Justin Fields would throw to if he was a polished passer with good post-snap processing. He isn't, he doesn't, he runs. And he's a good runner, so he's able to churn out. There's a neutral run, and yeah, let's call that a positive run. He got about 9 yards. Good job. So again, it's a positive play, but there are flaws to his game evident in that play as well. We're down near the red zone. This is like, well, no, not even. It's not even the extended red zone. Whatever. Justin Fields wants to throw to his right. This is a half-field read. DJ Moore is covered. It is zone. Right now, he needs to either decide, am I going to chase Claypool at the top of your screen, or am I checking it down? He makes the right decision. He checks it down. Chase Claypool eventually gets open, but that's not open enough. And Chase Claypool's not exactly the kind of guy you want to throw a jumper to. Chase Claypool shows you right here why he's not the kind of guy you want to throw a jumper to. 2 routine passes in a row. Another routine pass gets blown up, but it's a routine pass. And then the Bears will fail on 4th down. Next drive. Justin Fields play action, ton of time in the pocket, nobody's open. Steps up in the pocket, now things are bad. See, Chase Claypool is wide open at the top of the screen on his little stop route. Problem is, this nose tackle is going to eat Justin Fields. Justin Fields does an incredible job of stepping through, avoiding that. That's a plus pocket movement, and a second plus pocket movement for avoiding that sack, but it is only a neutral run. That is a positive play, but not a positive run. Here, Justin Fields does an incredible job. Look at this. He's at the top of his drop. Everybody's open, basically. It's zones. It's very simple. He has everything he wants, but there is a corner blitz coming from Jair Alexander at the bottom of the screen. Now, if Justin Fields was a quick processor, which we know he is not, he would get the ball out right now, take the hit, make the play. Instead, he does a really cool spin move and avoids the sack. So really good job as a runner. It's a plus pocket movement. Now, Chase Claypool is still wide open. In fact, everybody except Cole Kmet at the bottom of the screen is open. You got this comeback over here, this receiver right here. I'm going to circle. You got to gun that, dude. You've got it. If you're going to have a strong arm, you got to be able to throw 20 yards past the line of scrimmage on the run, rolling forward and to your right. Instead, Justin Fields pulls it down and runs. And you know what? Here's the other thing. Probably the best running quarterback in the NFL. Another positive run with a plus pocket movement on a play that involves bad processing. Here are 2 routine throws in a row. Now you might be saying, but Joe, this throw to Chase Claypool is like 7 yards, 8 yards downfield, and it looks beautiful. Look at all the yards after the catch he's able to get. Well, let's show you the tight copy because it's really easy stuff here. All right, this is the tight copy. Does that look like a difficult throw to you? It is 5, 10, 15 yards away, which means it's about 5-ish yards past the line of scrimmage. And there's nobody near him. There's nobody near him. That's a routine throw, man. So 2 routine throws. Now we're in the deep red zone. Inside the 10, I call the gold zone. It doesn't matter. This is, I see what they're trying to do. They know Justin Fields can't process well, but they also know he's a freak athlete. So the idea is to do something that the Texans used to do a ton with Deshaun Watson, and Matt Nagy actually used to do a ton with Mitch Trubisky. It's a rollout like this, and then you just want to flood this half of the field so that Justin Fields can basically play monkey in the middle with any defender who is trying to decide, should I tackle the quarterback? Should I cover my man? Here you've got this deeper, longer developing out route from the running back, and you've got your tight end on a flat, and you're going to have a corner from, I think that's Claypool over there as well. Fields does a good job of escaping, throwing the ball to the flat, routine throw plus pocket movement, solid job. Here, they run the exact same play, basically. It's the same thing, right? Except this time, instead of having Chase Claypool come over on an over, you're going to have Darnell Mooney running like some kind of a fade. This isn't the best play call. All right, so let's diagram it right here. It's going to be Mooney on a fade, Cole Kmet like kind of doing a very lazy option out. The running back is going to take the fake handoff and then basically run a giant circle out. And then we've got fades and other shit that doesn't matter on the other side of the field. So the intended receiver is clearly number 21, the running back, but he's in triple coverage. Cole Kmet is just like standing there on. Remember when I said it was a lazy option? It's a super lazy option. And Darnell Mooney is not winning any fade balls anyway, but that looks really bad. So Fields is screwed from Jump Street. But, dude, throw the ball away. Do you really think that you're going to beat this linebacker to the edge? So, despite the fact it's a terrible play call, it's also a bad sack. You just can't do that. Plus pocket movement to give himself time, but bad sack because, dude, get rid of the ball. And then here, I don't know, man. I really don't know. This looks like everybody gave up on the play halfway through. It's kind of like, I think it's 4 verts from the 15-yard line. Yeah, it's basically 4 verts, and nobody's winning anything. And Justin Fields decides to throw the ball at his tight end anyway, who's not really ready, and it literally goes off the back of the cornerback's head. That's rough. Next drive. More Justin Fields running. It's the only way he does anything good ever. Remember, top of the drop, somebody in his face. It's a longer developing route. Running is actually the right option here. Plus pocket movement. And we'll give him a neutral run. I think there might have been a hold on that play, but I'm not really concerned. All right, another one where Justin Fields gets to the top of his drop and makes a terrible throw. This is just a bad throw, right? Top of his drop, throw the ball. I know, so 35 is Kari Blasingame. He's a fullback. I don't know why you've got a fullback running a zig, but okay. There he is on the zig. He's wide open. He's been wide open the whole damn time. Fields holds onto the ball way too long. Eventually throws it to him, but it's over his head. Bad throw. All right. Here, top of the drop, everybody's wide open. I understand that it's second or it's third in a million. Get the ball out of your hands, dude. Like, don't bank on juking out a nose tackle inside the pocket. You've got wide open dudes underneath. See if one of your running backs can make a play. Let them get hit. Instead, Justin Fields pulls off the improbable. Like, it shouldn't work, but it did. Breaks 2 tackles, 2+ pocket movements, and then gets a neutral run. But Joe, it's a 10-yard run. But guys, it was 3rd and 20. He should have known better than to take off in the first place, and if he did, he had to get a lot more than 10 yards. So, neutral run with 2+ pocket movements, followed by a routine pass to Cole Kmet in the flat, nothing to talk about. Another routine pass, nothing to talk about. Justin Fields drops back, steps up and through. This is a bad pass. So it's kind of a fumble, but it's mostly a bad pass because, not because Justin Fields was inaccurate. This is actually not an inaccurate problem. This is simply a problem of pocket awareness. First of all, Rashawn Gary, stud. But, watch this. Rashawn Gary gets to 11 yards past the line of scrimmage, right? The line of scrimmage, you'll see, is where the ref is standing. It's about the 20-yard line. Rashawn Gary is at the 10-yard line, which means Justin Fields took way too deep of a drop. Also, there's all this room up here in the pocket. Justin Fields needs to step up. Frankly, Cole Kmet is wide open. Get that ball out, boy. Running back Khalil Herbert, wide open. Dump it off, dude. You've got options. You don't have to throw to the 3 dudes going deep against cover 3 clouds. Steps up in the pocket, plus pocket move. Problem is, he threw it a little too late, had to be a little bit quicker, and he allows the defender to get an arm on him. It's a bad throw because he allowed himself to be affected by pressure, just like a batted throw, just like a batted throw. Here, this is a no-fault sack. Justin Fields was dead on arrival on that play. On this play, it's a screen, routine, nothing to talk about. You'll see that Justin Fields' problem really isn't his inaccuracy. It's almost all mental, like routine. He's not throwing the ball downfield much, but when he throws the ball, it's almost always accurate. And that's the issue that I have with people's evaluation of him. People think big, fast, strong quarterback, great arm, can't pass. Oh, he must be inaccurate. Well, no. What's going on is he's actually just really bad at the mental aspects of the game. He's way too slow to think, and he makes really bad decisions even when he takes his time. That's really bad. One other thing he can't really fix is that he's got really tiny hands, and it makes him fumble a lot. In fact, he fumbled 11 times last year, or maybe 12 times last year. Here, that's his first of the year. Let's go back and see why this is a negative run with a plus pocket movement. So it's 3rd down. 20-yard line is going to be the line of scrimmage, or the yard line to gain. Look at the bottom of the screen. You see DJ Moore there? DJ Moore, the one that the Bears fans were so excited they got for the first overall pick. He must be the thing that fixes Fields. Well, Fields, first of all, isn't really looking at him. Should be. Should be, because he's going to run a curl against off coverage. That is exactly what the coaches wanted when they drew this up. As you'll see, Fields is completely clean in the pocket. DJ Moore is breaking on his curl. Jair Alexander is flat-footed. This is everything you ever wanted. It is perfect. Throw it. Okay, that's fine. You didn't want the first down to DJ Moore. I get it. You're on the far hash. It's kind of a long throw. Maybe you can't do that. Okay, here's Khalil Herbert, your starting running back. Maybe not for long, but he is your starting running back. He is wide open. He is 2, maybe 3 yards short of the sticks. Dump it off to him. Let him freaking run. Look at all this space he's got to cross the field and try to get 3 yards. I believe. Instead, Justin Fields sees that a nose tackle is on the ground near him, and he starts to panic. So he decides he has to step through. Plus pocket move to step up in the pocket, sure, but dude, you're not going to get the yardage. So it's a negative run, because even if he didn't fumble, this leads to a punt. But then he also fumbles. It's a terrible play, and it's all because Justin Fields can't process. And now this game is almost over, largely because of that turnover. Packers have the ball in the red zone already. We're going to grade 2 more drives, just because I think that's when things really fall off the wagon. Here, Justin Fields, routine throw. Again, most of these aren't inaccurate. It's just a matter of what's going on between his ears. All right, here, next play, top of his drop. Now, Rashawn Gary is good. Rashawn Gary is good. But you're going to notice, let's diagram this play real quick. So this play is intended to work against cover 3, and this is the same thing that the Packers have been running the entire game. It's cover 3. It looks like this. You've got these 3 defensive backs going to drop and split the field into thirds deep, and you've got these 3 linebackers or second-level defenders who are going to split up, that 5 to 10 yard area into thirds. The Bears are going to run a seam-based concept. So it doesn't matter what these receivers do. The number 1 read here is Darnell Mooney right here. He's going to run a seam, which is just a streak from the slot. And his job is to basically run where these 2 circles meet. Because you'll notice, if we go forward a little bit, due to the fact we've got DJ Moore on the top of the screen, number 29, Rasul Douglas, cornerback, he has to take his third of the intermediate field, which means he has to turn away from Darnell Mooney and neglect him to go run away towards DJ Moore, or else DJ Moore is uncovered. Now this safety over the top at the top of the screen here, he's waiting. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do, because if DJ Moore runs deep, this guy has DJ Moore. But if DJ Moore doesn't run deep, he's kind of got Darnell Mooney, but also this safety here is supposed to have Darnell Mooney. So who's got Darnell Mooney? You know how if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one? If 2 guys are supposed to cover you, neither is. Right here, this ball has to be out of Fields' hands already. Have to anticipate this, have to get this ball out there. Rashawn Gary is bearing down on you. The ball should already be in motion. It should already be leaving your fingertips right here. You take the hit to make the play. I don't know if Darnell Mooney gets tackled. If you put the ball on him, put the ball right at the 50. This is where Darnell Mooney should be getting the ball. Instead, you're holding on to it still. You should have held on to it a couple plays ago when you decided to run on 3rd down, not here on 2nd down with a wide open seam to break the game back open. Notice Darnell Mooney not thrilled with the fact that Justin Fields couldn't get the ball off. Blame the offensive line all you want, blame the play calling all you want. That is Justin Fields thinking too slowly. Wide open. That's exactly what Luke Getsy wanted when he drew it up. Now it doesn't matter, you get the routine throw to the boundary against soft coverage in the flat, 1st down. Very nice for you. Happy day. Bears are in the red zone, and here Justin Fields is going to make a nice play. I'm going to diagram this one too. So this is going to be a wheel scissor concept. That is fancy football jargon for people who are trying to intimidate you and make you feel inferior. All it means is Darnell Mooney is here in the slot. He's going to run kind of sideways and then turn that into a streak. That's called a wheel route. And then Chase Claypool over here is going to run a post. And the reason it's called a scissor is because at the top they kind of look like a pair of scissors. The idea is Packers are in zone. We know that because they didn't respond to motion, right? There was motion. They didn't do anything. They're running that same weird cover 3, cover 4 hybrid, right? So it's 3 men over the top, 3 men in the middle, and then 5 men rushing. This is what they've done all game to try to control Fields. 5-man line of scrimmage, 3 linebacker level, 3 safety level. See, Chase Claypool runs that post, which means he's running like that, and Rasul Douglas is like, well, I can't leave Chase Claypool wide open next to the end zone, and this safety isn't there yet because he's like, well, I had to maintain integrity. I had to guard the middle of the field. So this linebacker level player here is supposed to guard Darnell Mooney, but his job is to stay here in this area. So he was flat-footed, and he already can't catch Darnell Mooney because Darnell Mooney is a fast wide receiver, and this guy is in the 2nd level for a reason. Does Darnell Mooney have to wait for it? A little bit, but that's the luxury that you're afforded with a genius play call. Great throw. Credit where it's due. Justin Fields recognized the coverage bust and nailed it. That play was drawn up perfectly. Here, this play is, sometimes you have too many luxuries and you just misuse them. When I have a scrambling quarterback in Madden, I get tempted to run too much and I make my offense less efficient. Here, Luke Getsy did the same. He gave Justin Fields too much autonomy. This play is a screen RPO. So Justin Fields is supposed to look out here, and if he thinks that this running back has an opportunity to get a bunch of yards, you throw the screen, you've got these 2 blockers against 3 dudes, and you see what happens. But for whatever reason, Justin Fields looks at that and says, no, I'm good. And he decides to pull it down and run directly through 2 nose tackles. That's a bad run. That's negative. Don't do that. That's not smart. You're not going to win. Here, Justin Fields just misses. His ball's too high. Even if this receiver, I think that's Claypool, even if Claypool catches this ball, which would be very tough to do, he's going to die. Not only is that a suicide ball, but it's terrible placement. And here, this is going to be the last play we grade. This is pretty freaking pathetic. So Justin Fields has DJ Moore going to run an out here, and he's going to have the running back run a flat, so you've got a flood concept. Basically, two dudes, and Jair Alexander has to cover both of them. Use your eyes to make Jair Alexander go where you want and throw it to the opposite. So, like, I would look at DJ Moore and throw it to the running back and see what he can do after the catch. You've also got this in route that turns basically into an over from the slot on the other side by Darnell Mooney, and that's where Justin Fields is going to go. These two linebackers are guarding these two areas right here because this is cover 2, which means you got 4 dudes in the middle of the field this time instead of 3 like the last few plays. And Fields is basically just thinking, I'm going to throw it where these circles meet right here, and it's going to be beautiful. Here's the problem. He thought that the whole time and stared at exactly where he was going to throw the ball the whole time. His head does not move once. Let's watch it again. His head does not move once. His head does not move once. His head does not move once. Both of these linebackers know exactly where this ball is going. Justin Fields is late on the throw after telegraphing it. Easy, easy pick. If Justin Fields is early on the throw, maybe it gets there. If Justin Fields doesn't telegraph it, maybe the linebackers aren't there in time. Instead, he does both. It's easy. It's so easy. It's easy. Let's watch it again from Justin Fields' perspective. 7 and 59 of the linebackers in question. Darnell Mooney is just off screen to your right. Clean pocket. No pressure whatsoever. A little bit of a hold, but no pressure whatsoever. Get that ball out. Come on. It's wide. Oh, it's never going to be easier than this. He doesn't anticipate. He throws the ball too late. The linebacker's easily able to come in on it. He should have never thrown it to Mooney in the first place, but if that was what he wanted to do, he did it the worst possible way. And that's going to be the last play we grade, because after this, the game is broken.
So overall, I gave Justin Fields a D- for his performance. It could have been worse, theoretically. Maybe tough. So he had the 2 great throws. The touchdown to Darnell Mooney on the wide open, awesome scissor concept. Use that later. Make your friends think you're real smart. And also one of the very first plays of the game, that rollout where he underthrew Darnell Mooney intentionally for the big gain. Good stuff. He didn't have any solid throws. They didn't really attack the second level of the field, which I feel like was a bit of a mistake. But also, it's not that they didn't call plays for that. It's just that Fields never chose to throw the longer curls, the second level plays, which is unfortunate because the Packers ran almost exclusively thirds coverage. So there's only 3 guys in the middle of the field. You should be attacking that all day. He did have 12 routine plays, or passes rather. You saw those. You saw a lot of really easy dinks and dunks. He only had 4 bad passes. Like I said, inaccuracy wasn't really his issue. He did have the pick. He had 3 sacks, he had 3 sacks that I thought were on him. He had 1 sack that I thought was not his fault, one where he was dead on arrival. That's not on him. He didn't throw the ball away. Wish he would have. He had 2 positive runs. He had 3 neutral runs, and he had the 1 really dumb negative run. Just not a good idea. He had 8 positive pocket movements, which isn't as many as you might think from a scrambling quarterback with a allegedly poor offensive line. And he did have the 2 fumbles. Remember that one pass where I was like, is that a bad pass or a fumble to the fullback blasting game? Yeah, it was a fumble. So 2 fumbles. Fumbles are simple. Did he fumble? He fumbled. Fumble. Accuracy, 73.7% is actually above league average, both this year and last year. This year, tiny sample, right? I've only graded 500 snaps. But 72 is about average. Accuracy plus. Now, this is just accuracy. It's your positive throws divided by your inaccurate throws, right? It's meant to gauge how well a quarterback is throwing downfield. 29%. League average last year was 44. That's bad. That's real bad. Only 13.8% of his plays were positive. That's really low. League average is 23. 31% of his plays were negative. That's high. League average is 28. A lot of cheap plays like we talked about before. It's those neutral runs. It's those routine throws, easy stuff, game manager stuff, and overall came out to a -7 slugging. I give him D-. It's not good, and it's not going to get better because the problems were the same as they always have been. It's processing. It's thinking too slowly after the snap, but it's also making bad decisions even when you think slowly. Like on that pick six, Justin Fields had a clean pocket. He had all the time in the world. He sat there and thought about it, and that was part of the problem. He made the wrong decision too late. You can't do both. If you make a decision late and it's a right decision, you can get away with it. If you make a wrong decision, but you make it fast, you can get away with it. You can't do both. Additionally, his release is still very long and slow, and he's not accurate downfield, which is why they didn't throw downfield. He's also not aggressive. He's not seeing the routes downfield. If Justin Fields could learn how to play football more effectively mentally, I think he'd be really good. But I also don't think that's going to happen, because every time he learns something, everybody else in the league is also learning something. I don't think he's going to, learn at an accelerated rate. Every time Justin Fields has a breakthrough in the offseason, like, oh, if I do this, then that. Every linebacker and safety is also working on something and having a similar breakthrough. It's just never gonna work. Quarterbacks don't get that much smarter relative to competition in their third and fourth year. He didn't look like it in college, and of course, you're not going to get better relative to your competition when you move to the NFL. I think that this seals it for Justin Fields. I really do. I mean, it's tough to write a guy off after one game, but after 3 years, when it's the same thing I saw in college, I'm ready. What do you guys think? Am I too harsh? Which plays do you disagree on? I know I'm probably going to get some negative comments because Bears fans will not quit this man, but they also never quit Trubisky, and I think it's been pretty well proven they should have. It's going to be tough for people because he was only inaccurate 5 times in the plays that we graded, but the problems are there. The missed opportunities are there. All right. Hit me in the comments, like, subscribe, do all the things that YouTubers usually talk about. Until then, I'll be grinding film. Hasta.